Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here tonight. I'm the Shmuel. I'm here to talk about some wrestling, news. So let's get right into it. So first thing I want to talk about is the Raw ratings from December 12th episode last night. Headlined by two number one contender matches. It was an okay show. It was just an average show, if you ask me. Just a bunch of like mid-card stuff. I mean, a few number one contender matches that were a little bit interesting. Other than that, pretty average show last night. So Raw's just not being getting the good viewership. Getting good viewership because they're not really giving a reason. It's just a bunch of like 3 hours of like a bunch of mid-card stuff. It just feels like a mid-card show right now. Does WWE Raw now that you still don't have a WWE champion? So it's just WWE Raw just feels like a waste of time right now. It really does. It's a bunch of waste of time because you got like, guys like Mustafa Ali and mid-card. Just a bunch of mid-card stuff on the show, man. So, WWE Raw last night recorded their lowest viewership number since July, and the K-Demo rating also drops. So, Brandon Thurston reports that the WWE Raw episode on December 12th averaged 1.4 million viewers. It's down from last week, which is 1.5. It's the lowest viewership number that Raw's recorded since July 4th, 2022. And it averaged a 0.37 rating in 18 to 49. It's down from last week's, which is 0.41. It's the lowest key demo rating the show's recorded since October 31st, 2022. It finished 7th, 8th, and 9th among cable originals. According to Showbuzz Daily, the night on cable was won by the Monday Night Football game between the Patriots and the Cardinals, which averaged 9.121 million viewers and a 2.7 demographic rating. So the hour breakdown for WWE Raw was 1.482, 1.547, and 1.388. So it even dropped to 1.3 there towards the end, even with a number one contenders match between Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley. I mean, hell, the highest viewed video on their YouTube was 590,000 views. And it's the Bobby Lashley thing, which I'll get to talking about in a second. Yeah, the hourly breakdown, not good for WWE Raw. You got a few people tuned in the second hour, and everybody else, then they tuned out. I don't know how the Monday Night Football game got so many views. That game, it was okay, but it's two shitty teams. An average team and then a shitty team. But yeah, on the ratings, not good, but SmackDown's just the A show, and it gets the better ratings, because it's only 2 hours. Hopefully WWE Raw only drops to 2 hours sometime, man. I'm tired of watching this shit. It just feels like a mid-card show. Bobby Lashley got fired last night on WWE Raw after attacking an official. He shoved Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce said, "You're fired," but he put a video up on Twitter. On Tuesday afternoon, he issued a statement where he rescinded his firing of Bobby Lashley. He put on his Twitter a video. He stated, "I'd like to address what happened to the end of Monday Night Raw between himself and Bobby Lashley. First and foremost, despite what I said last night, Bobby Lashley is not fired. And even if he was, it would be for a storyline purpose. That said, he's repeatedly crossed the line. Last night, he physically crossed two referees and put his hands on me. Not to mention spearing WWE official Pete Williams last week. All of that hate behavior is unacceptable. All of it will be addressed and will have repercussions. Despite that, I feel I need to apologize to the WWE Universe for the way I conducted myself in the heat of the moment. I allowed emotions to get the better of me, and frankly, I said some things I shouldn't have. I'll never apologize for my passion, but looking back, it's obvious that I didn't channel mine in the right direction. I regret that." Bobby and him are going to meet later this week, man to man, discuss ramification of what he's done, and more importantly, how he can move forward, do business with the respect that we've always had up to now. Again, I formally resign Bobby Lashley's termination and sincerely apologize for my part in escalating an already volatile situation. So, Bobby Lashley is no longer fired by WWE, so he rescinded his termination of Mr. Bobby Lashley, which is even if he was fired, it probably would have been for storyline purpose, which would have been interesting going forward, but he's no longer fired. So we'll see what happens going forward in this story with Bobby Lashley and Big Balls Adam Pearce. Next thing I want to talk about is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, I have two things I want to talk about Vince McMahon. Three things I want to talk about with Vince McMahon. The first thing I want to talk about is he's facing legal demands from alleged sexual assault victims, and so that's the first thing I want to talk about. And then I'll get to the second one, which is pretty much an update. So, the Wall Street Journal, he reported now that Vince McMahon is facing legal demands from two women who allege that he sexually assaulted them, according to internal documents and people similar with the legal negotiations. Obviously, Rita Chatterton is asking for $11 million after publicly accusing McMahon 3 decades ago of raping her. Furthermore, an attorney for the former spa manager claims McMahon assaulted his client in 2011 at a California resort. And there's more stuff you can read on Fightful Wrestling's article here. And he's reportedly told people he refuses to pay the settlements to Miss Chatterton and the former spa manager. And obviously he retired as the CEO on July 22nd amid all this stuff. So this can pretty much with more allegations like this, his dream of returning is the definition of a pipe dream. I can't fathom how they would allow him back at this point. He ain't coming back, man. He's not coming back. There's just no way. We'll have to go back up here. Sean Ross Sapp on his main Twitter put up today. I'm talking to more people within WWE, and we'll have more on FightfulSelect.com about their reactions to the Wall Street Journal article claiming Vince McMahon wants to make a comeback. We've also reached out to Rita Chatterton, but haven't heard back. So this is an update I want to get into Vince McMahon. He wants to make a comeback to WWE. The Wall Street Journal article claimed Vince McMahon wants to make a comeback. So, hopefully Vince McMahon doesn't come back, because I just don't see how you can bring Vince McMahon back after all the allegations. I mean, it's kind of hard to say they're allegations at this point. It's pretty much he did it. Trying to the hush money stuff. And he only retired because it would have got worse if he stayed in charge in WWE. And it's been a lot better since Vince McMahon's left. Better storylines. Some rehired wrestlers have come back, like Bray Wyatt, Mia Yim, Johnny Gargano, some others. So, the next thing I want to talk about is Sean Ross Sapp put up another tweet 3 hours ago. Said, we've spoken to over a dozen employees, staff in town today about the Wall Street Journal report about Vince McMahon wants to return. He's not wanted back by those we've heard from. So, he's basically not wanted back by the people, like in the higher ups. The board would have to allow it and want it to happen. If not, Vince can just wait till next elections, and he could maybe fire everyone on the board and hire a new board, so the new board appoints Vince back in power. Isn't it illegal? I don't know. But I was thinking maybe that could be an option if he wanted to try and come back, but I don't see it. I just don't see him coming back. I really don't. There's just no fucking way. Backstage morale has been the highest it's been in a while. Why would anyone want Vince McMahon back in charge in WWE? WWE. I just don't get it. If WWE were to want him back, but it's clear Morale's better than WWE, he's not coming back. It's just time to face the facts. Vince McMahon, you're done. You're finished. You're not gonna be able to come back to WWE. The last thing I'll talk about is WWE filed a trademark for the WWE Queen, King and Queen of the Ring. So, which is a pretty which I guess is interesting. Maybe it'll be its own event. Maybe be the same event. I don't know. But yeah, and that's all. Save this video until next Mac Live.